precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Records show that the second wave of the coronavirus in Sri Lanka is now under control up to a certain extent. The Defence Secretary said the government will not resort to taking political revenge from anyone. Chinese President and the Prime Minister sent New Year greeting cards to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Ambassador Ravinatha Aryasinghe has commended the services rendered by the Mahasangha living in the USA and in other countries. 300 buses taken out of service by the Sri Lanka Transport Board will be repaired and put back into operation from tomorrow. Sri Lanka's oldest female dies at age 117. News overseas, UK's surge in COVID cases an extreme concern. Local news in detail now. Records show that the second wave of the coronavirus in Sri Lanka is now under control up to a certain extent. The coronavirus second wave began in the country on the 5th of October this year. The peak was reported on the 14th of this month. But from that day, there is a considerable decrease in the number of patients in the hospitals in the country. 878 patients have been reported on the 2nd of December, but lesser number of people were reported from that day. Around 500 patients discharged from the hospitals daily. Defence Secretary retired General Kamal Gunaratne said the government will not resort to taking political revenge from anyone. Speaking to the media after paying homage to the sacred tooth relic in Kandy yesterday, he said if the government had resorted to political retaliations after coming to power, many would have been imprisoned today. He said no arrests have been made for any reason other than those who have been convicted of wrongdoing up to now. He said that the President, the Prime Minister, the government and government officials will not resort to political retaliation. He also stressed that steps will be taken to rectify any injustice that has taken place after discussing with the Attorney General regarding those who have been subjected to political retaliation in the past. A statement issued by the Chinese embassy in Colombo yesterday said that Chinese President Xi Jinping signed and sent New Year greeting cards to his Sri Lankan counterpart, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang also delivered his best wishes for 2021 to his Sri Lankan counterpart, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, the statement states. Besides chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China, Li Zhanshu, and Chinese State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi sent warm greetings for the coming New Year respectively to Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abhiwardena and Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Ambassador Ravinatha Aryasinghe has commended the services rendered by the Mahasangha living in the United States of America and in other countries and said they propagated the most sacred offering Sri Lanka could share with the world, which is Buddhism. Ambassador Aryasinghe made these observations when he addressed the commencement ceremony on the occasion of the day-long chanting of the Ratana Sutta 108 times virtually linked to an audience across the USA and the world on Sunday. The initiative taken by the most venerable Dr. Agga Mahapandita Valpala Piyanandanayakathera of the Dharma Vijaya Buddhist Vihara in Los Angeles saw the coming together of the Mahasangha from 108 temples representing over 100 Sri Lankan Buddhist temples across the USA and also joined by Buddhist monks representing Thai, Nepalese, Vietnamese and Bangladesh temples. Noting that people in all corners of the world were going through uncertainty and psychological strain on an unprecedented scale at present due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the accompanying economic hardship, Ambassador Aryasinghe said the Buddha's teachings were universal and the blessings that accrued from the chanting of the Ratana Sutta this time would benefit all beings irrespective of their faith, just as it did in the time of the Buddha. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more stories here at home. The Transport Ministry said 300 buses taken out of service by the Sri Lanka Transport Board will be repaired and put back into operation from tomorrow. State Transport Minister Dilum Amunugama said the 300 buses that were repaired will be added to the fleet again tomorrow and that there will be 2 double-decker buses as well. He said that this will address the demand for buses on rural roads across the country. At present, there are around 6,000 SLTB buses, out of which about 5,000 are in operation. The oldest female of Sri Lanka has passed away yesterday at the age of 117. The deceased Dodangoda resident had passed away while receiving treatment at the Nagoda hospital. That's on local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Another main news story, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that the government has decided to increase the number of PCR tests to detect more COVID-19 patients. This is aimed at expediting the repatriation of Sri Lankans and ensuring that tourists entering the country are not infected with the COVID-19 virus. The decision was taken during a meeting with Tourism Development Authority and Health Ministry officials and representatives from private hospitals held at the Tourism Ministry yesterday. The minister requested health officials to take measures to increase the number of PCR tests conducted daily as the country is now open for tourists and was repatriating more tourists, Sri Lankans stranded abroad due to the pandemic. The Health Ministry is currently conducting around 15,000 PCR tests a day, while around 3,000 PCR tests are being conducted by private hospitals daily.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on What's Live, Minister of Education Professor G.L. Pires says that a systematic program will be implemented to disinfect school premises before they open on the 11th of January next year. All classrooms will be cleaned and sanitized. A health room will be set up in each school in case of an emergency to give primary health care to students. That's on What's Light. Moving on to world news headlines. UK's surge in COVID cases an extreme concern. No liquor in teapots, South Africa's restaurants warned. 7 dead as rescuers search rubble for survivors in Croatia's earthquake. We move on to world news in detail now. A surge in coronavirus cases in the UK is of extreme concern, a health boss says, as a record number of cases was reported for the second day running. 53,135 new COVID cases were recorded yesterday, as well as 414 more deaths within 28 days of a positive test. Not all data was reported in full over the Christmas period, leading to a lag in some data, but Public Health England said there had been a real increase. The Health Secretary said the NHS was facing unprecedented pressures. Hospitals in England and Wales are now treating more COVID patients than at the peak of the first wave in April. South Africa's police minister has warned restaurants not to hide alcohol in teapots to try and get around a fresh ban on the sale of liquor. President Cyril Ramaphosa said reckless behavior caused by drinking increased the risk of spreading COVID as he announced the ban on Monday. A new faster-spreading variant of the coronavirus was detected in South Africa about 2 weeks ago. Speaking at a press conference yesterday after the new measures came into effect, Police Minister Becky Cele warned that restaurants would lose their trading licenses and owners prosecuted if they flouted the ban. Finally on world news, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake has struck central Croatia with reports of many injuries and at least 7 deaths. Petinja's mayor said around half the town had been destroyed and people were being pulled from the rubble. The earthquake could be felt in the Croatian capital Zagreb, in neighboring Bosnia and Serbia, and as far away as Italy. One woman was pulled alive from the rubble of the town hall in Petrinja, Croatian media reported. That came to you on World News. On development news, the Export Development Board has set up a revised export target of $13.39 billion for 2020 and expects $9.57 billion from merchandise exports and $3.82 billion from services exports. During the period January to November 2020, earnings from exports recorded $11.84 billion, including the estimated services data for July to November, and 88.47% achieved from the revised export target. That's on development news. Moving on to sports news now. West Indies Test captain Jason Holder is one of the 10 players who will miss his side's tour of Bangladesh because of concerns over coronavirus. Fabian Allen and Shane Darish are unavailable for personal reasons. The tour, consisting of 3 tests and 3 one-day internationals, runs from 18th January to 15th of February. Craig Brathwaite will captain the test team, with Jermaine Blackwood vice-captaining it. Jason Mohammed will lead the ODI team, with Sunil Ambrose as deputy. That's on sports news. And on business news, legendary designer Pierre Cardin, whose futuristic and stylish designs helped revolutionize fashion in the 1950s and 60s, has died at the age of 98. The French fashion giant, whose career spanned more than 70 years, helped usher in the post-war golden age of couture with his modern style. He broke ground by bringing designer styles to the masses with some of the first ready-to-wear collections. A business pioneer, he also licensed his name for a wide range of products. That's on business news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Sri Lanka Tea Board has allocated a promotional budget of approximately $30 million for an unprecedented business-to-consumer campaign for Ceylon tea, which started in December. The program highlights Ceylon black tea through a unique social media activity chain consisting of several digital videos and web posters. The brand promotional support scheme is proposed to back the global campaign and would be heavily focused on the younger generation who are digital friendly.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on the weather update, showers will occur at times in northern, eastern, north central, central and over provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere after 1 p.m. and fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news, and it's back to Chandima this morning.